Hello and welcome. My name is Mark A and welcome to Creative Coding. And so in this tutorial, I'll be just showing you around the Visual Studio Code environment, because if you're a beginner to coding and you're using Visual Studio Code, it is extremely important to know where everything is, and it's extremely important to be quick to locate anything you want. So let's get into it. Okay, so to start off, here are some pop-ups. So you're probably not going to get these pop-ups when you first go to Visual Studio Code. They're just for me. So first things first, you're probably going to get this welcome page with all this cool stuff like recent, help, start. You can customize and all this stuff and learn. So first things first, this is a tab like in Google Chrome, how they have tabs open. And next to the tab is an X. If you press X, you can close it. There's also the shortcut to it, which I don't use, but if you hover over it, you can get the shortcut. But for now, we're actually just going to click on the X, and it should close it. And you should get this screen with the Visual Studio Code logo. Anyways, so now we're going to look at the settings page to the left sidebar. And so on the left sidebar, we have a settings button, or a cog icon. I believe it's called a cog. I'll check. So it says manage here, and if we click on it, we have a bunch of these different stuff like command palette. We can open up command palette, flood a new project, open a new external terminal, add browser breakpoint, all these stuff which you can play around with. Color theme. Here we have different color themes like light, which not many people use. I'm guessing can be dark. I like to stick to the basic one, and the one that I use is just the dark plus, which is the default dark. And I like this one. You can change it. There's many to play around with and find the one that you like. Anyway, so now instead of looking at these two first, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this extension. This is the extension widget, and this is like 3 blocks with one not connected to it. And if you click on it, you have multiple extensions. These extensions are built into Visual Studio Code, and you can download them, and they're made by people. So example, if we search up like Dart, we can have like this Dart import Dart data class. If you click on it, you can install it, you can uninstall it. So there's many different things like that. GitHub, all that stuff, pretty cool stuff. Make sure to play around with that. So next, we have right above it, we have the run, and I'm guessing because of this little bug here, it's run and end debug, as it all, it was correct. It says right here, run and debug, and you can use this. Yep, that's why it's there. But anyway, so here, right above it, we have source control, and you're not going to really use this at all unless you have your GitHub connected to it, like I do. I actually forgot to mention this profile thing, where you can sign into your GitHub and you can commit changes and push changes from the UI, which is what I sometimes do, and I can sign out. I'm probably not going to sign out. Anyway, so source control is so you can push your changes. Search, you can search for different stuff, and it's pretty self-explanatory. And here's one of the most important things, which is File Explorer, or just Explorer as they call it. And what this is that where you would store your files and where you can open your files. So basically, once you create your files in your folder, and I might come out with a tutorial on how to properly make files so that they're organized in folders, and the folders are organized in folders and everything like that. But anyway, so here we have your folder, and you can open folders, you can open files. And so now we're actually gonna, if we actually press on this button on it again, it'll close it. Same thing for anything else. But if we ever want to open it, we can press Control B, or Control B to open, Control B to close, or Command B, depending on whether you're on Mac or PC or Windows. Sorry. Anyway, so now that we know that shortcut, which is pretty useful, we're gonna look at the top, which is, here we have file, and if we click on file, we can create a new file. This is an untitled one, so there's no dot anything, there's no dot py, there's no dot html, there's no dot anything. And so this is kind of useless until you save it as a correct file. But here you can open a workspace, you can open recent, you can add folder to workspace. This is what I like to do a lot because I'll add a folder to a workspace. So, and then I'll work on that workspace, and then I'll close the Visual Studio tab. Now, this might actually sound a little confusing to beginners, but it's pretty easy once you get used to VS Code. VS Code is another way of saying Visual Studio Code. So here we have our edit, which is like cut, copy, paste. You don't need to use cut, copy, paste. Here we have selection, where you can select, move line up and down. Here we have view. All these are pretty similar, pretty nice, pretty good. Here you can have run, where you can run like on Google Chrome, say you want to test out your website, how it looks. But yeah, here we have go. Sorry, that was view, not run. Here we have go. You can go to files. You can go to symbol in workspace. We have run without debugging, start debugging, and the debugger in Visual Studio Code is really good. That's why a lot of people use it. Anyways, so we're going to really turn our attention to this terminal, which if you don't want to use your command prompt or terminal in, like opening it from desktop, you can do it in Visual Studio Code, where you can press new terminal, and you can put your commands, and you can install stuff using pip and stuff, and you can do regular commands like pwd, and you can use git init and stuff like that. And you can install stuff. And if you look here, there's a kill terminal, there's split terminal will split it. And you can create JavaScript debug terminal, select default shells. I use ZSH, and you can close the terminal, but it doesn't close the terminal. So when you open a new terminal, there's actually going to be two. Anyway, so I'm just going to delete both. And then there's a help where you can search for stuff, and yeah, you can search for stuff and different stuff like that. So just quickly before I stop here, when I said we go into extensions and I skipped this, this is an extension, and that's why I skipped it. This is called Live Share, as you can see right here. And Live Share lets you have multiple people in your file at once, and you can have people, like I've done it before with like 3 people editing editing in different files in my Visual Studio Code folders, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's basically all you need to know about the Visual Studio Code environment. Make sure to get used to it, and yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to see more, and thanks for watching.